Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Set 70, Indy. You ain't going nowhere.
Off-play action. Gilbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Gilbert is going to float. They've got his man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Looking to throw. Gilbert. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance, if they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
You got tape. You got tape. You got tape.
They'll run on first down. Lester, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He gets them a little over half of what they need, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He's going to fire one deep over into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job is to stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Gilbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go, let's go.
And now out comes Houston. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. James has got it, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
From the 50, it's Watson. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
Throwing again is Watson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 15 carries, 69 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week. It's a pretty good success. And we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. An opening for Chubb on 1st down as he dashes forward for about 7. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Call call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Here's Watson. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now it's Watson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Call it a loss of 6 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Let's get it.
Now on 2nd and 16, Gilbert. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patches, I like to call it.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. On 1st and 10, Watson going for the deep, and this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9, from the receivers. That meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing on 2nd and long. Gilbert, and he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He only has a single solo carry, 1. Numero uno, 2nd quarter. They need to get him the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. On 1st down, it's Watson. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. From 8 yards out. And the Texans push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here are the Texans to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson is going to fire one deep, middle of, that's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, this first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. Watson now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Mack. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage on a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
That is caught at the 7. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. Watson looks to throw again. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans push further out in front. That was quite the call down around the goal line on 4th and goal.
Yeah, they fake the run, pull it out, throw it. And as a defense, I've been in that spot before, and we see it all the time. You almost have to overcommit against the run. You have to almost sell out and say, they're going to run it, go make a play. They got fooled on that one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Gilbert, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team is playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Gilbert. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll keep it on the ground. Lester.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. A big-time play there for the Texans. 41 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one rips, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now a give, right side. Lester, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Lester, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
On first down, Gilbert. He gets this one to Boyd. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running sound.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still...
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lester. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throwing on first down. Gilbert. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Gilbert. And this is going to be incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Texans defense stands tall. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Lester, and down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll get it to the 23-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And Watson's going to throw it here. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Right there on the coverage was the safety, Jesse Bates. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now a give, right side. Lester. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. When it's 1st and goal from that close inside the 5, do you like running the toss or pitch to the outside?
I think some teams feel like they have a little more room and it enables them.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out now, here come the Bengals. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here, and that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say we'll get better as we go forward.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
On first down, Lester. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. And they're going to speed things up here. On third down, Lester. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Houston, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home